Well, hey guys, welcome back to the shop. We are continuing to work on this 1967 Pontiac GTO. Went ahead and I rerouted my front brake lines. You can see I'm coming down around and under the frame rail, across the bottom of the engine, under the frame rail, and up to my other side. Our exhaust manifold is still going to come down here, which is still kind of close to this. We'll see how it works. But at least it's not going up here where it's right next to the manifold, because that's what usually ends up being pretty bad. I may change this a little bit to bring it under and around, just to give it a little more distance, but at least it's not sandwiched in between a frame rail and a hot exhaust manifold. I was looking at my engine, and yes, we are going to reuse this engine for now. We are actually going to be building an engine, probably at Bob's, for this car, Pontiac 400, with the customer's specific requests for GM camshaft, high performance, and GM. He's got some GM parts. He actually brought me the exhaust, which is GM style. He's kind of going with the OE style on this resurrection. He had some low mileage factory springs. He brought me some shocks. He's got, look at these old shocks. He's had these things in his garage for Lord only knows how long. Some Gabrielle Red Riders. The back brakes look pretty good. The one wheel cylinder's loose in the plate, but I'm going to be putting new brake lines throughout the whole thing, and then we'll put a new master cylinder on it because the master cylinder's leaking out the back. We'll bleed the whole brake system. I think his brakes are going to be okay, but I'll probably resurface the drums just to give it good, clean surface, because a lot of times the drum brakes don't get resurfaced and it reduces braking efficiency, and this car needs every bit of stopping power it can get. I rotated my engine up to top dead center on my timing tab. I can tell that there's a little bit of play in the timing chain, which I'll show you that here. But again, we don't really care because we're going to be putting a different engine in this car. When you turn the crank, you can actually feel the difference in resistance between when the camshaft's being spun and when it's just the crankshaft rotating. And that's how much play we have in our timing chain. Which, like I said, it's not horrible, but it's also not great. But in the end of the day, it doesn't matter for this engine, because this engine is just going to get pulled and sit on a pallet. We had a whole bunch of oil in the back of this, so I decided to clean everything off. I'm going to pull the distributor out, run the oil pump with a drill, and we're going to see if maybe my cam plug, which to me looks really deep, or maybe a galley plug. This one isn't a pressurized galley plug, so I don't think it's coming from there. It might be coming from rear main seal. Don't know. I'd like to narrow it down. It might just be oil seeping down off the top because this distributor is actually loose. I haven't taken that loose yet, so it might just be oil seeping down from here and then dropping down behind the in between the bell housing, and then getting slung by the radiator or the flywheel. Sorry, my brain's not braining today. But that's where we're at. Once I have that solved, my flywheel's back from being resurfaced. So flywheel clutch will go on. I won't put the engine back in the car until I have the control arm bushings done. He decided to go ahead and do all the upper and lower control arm bushings and upper and lower ball joints. So I have those on the way. They'll be here hopefully in a couple of days. I have bushings in stock for the rear upper arms, so I'm going to go ahead and do those. Build my brake lines, put my shocks on, and then I'll pretty much be done in the back. My front lines are done. So technically I can just go ahead and put the engine back in. That may happen because then I can build my exhaust while I'm waiting for my control arm bushings to come in. So I don't know, I'll see how I decide to play that game. But that's where we're at moving forward. I'm going to go ahead and pull this Dizzy out, and we'll prime the oil system and see if we can figure out where this leak's coming from. old brass terminal cap, but it doesn't have a lot of wear on it. Rotor looks great. Our mechanical advance works. Check our vacuum advance. We are currently aimed at number 1. Oh, we're not. So when we put this back in, we're going to move it a tooth so that the window is accessible through here to adjust points. But to take it apart and put it back together, at least we know we're number 1 top dead center, and our distributor is pointing at number 1. So when we put it back in, it'll be about like that. So we're going to want our rotor basically pointing 90 degrees, which will put our distributor there, give us clear access to our points to adjust our points. That looks like it'll work. So let's take it apart. That looks awful long. Click it back 1 tooth. Distributor gear wear looks okay. I don't see, it doesn't look like we were leaking oil out there. But it does have paint mashed under it, but it's dry, so I don't think that was our leak. Alright, let me spin our pump. I got to cap off our oil pressure tap. We'll see if we can see any leaks. There we go. Oh, my battery's dead. Story of my life. Alright, well, I'm not seeing any leaks back here. We'll go with it. Let's get our clutch, flywheel, pressure plate all mounted back on, and we'll be ready to put this thing back in the car. That'll do. Alright, so the distributor's in place. Have a nice straight shot to my points adjustment screw. Straight through my window here, which is real nice. It should be pretty close. So, we'll go with that. Well, that's the wrong pilot bearing bushing. has a pilot bearing in it. I think I'm just going to leave the bearing, which will allow me to put my clutch and pressure plate on. This looks like it's for small block Chevy, and that's a different outer diameter. It's much larger. So I'm going to reuse the bearing. It doesn't feel bad at all. It doesn't have any play in it. So we're going to use the bearing. So we have a nice new McLeod dual friction clutch. In and out like butter. Flywheel is resurfaced. Flywheel bolts are torqued to 95 foot-pounds. Flex plate bolts are torqued to 20 foot-pounds. That is ready to go back together. So I just need my control arm bushings, and that'll be moving pretty quickly. So I'm going to go ahead and work on the back axle. Figure if I can get my rear springs, rear shocks, and upper control arm bushings done in the back, then I'm basically done in the back. And then the next thing I'll do will be pulling front control arms and start preparing those. Once my control arms are off, I'll probably go ahead and drop the engine back in and build the exhaust, because it's still going to be a couple days before my bushings get in. It's alright, we're making headway. Hopefully about another week we'll have this thing all wrapped up with all the parts coming in. Making headway. Finding solutions to problems. That's what we do. Alright, so I was able to drive that bushing in, change that bushing out. We've got our load control spring in, which you can see it's got a tight wrap, and then the rest. And we've got our Red Ryder Gabrielle shock. Getting ready to do this side. So far all my bolts have come loose. And basically I use a press on that one, and I use an air hammer and a hammer and a driver to drive those in. And then my shoulders hurt enough that I'll probably be done for today, because swinging a hammer to drive those upper bushings in is a little rough on the old rotator cups. But we're making headway. I want to have this part of this done today before I leave, so I'm going to keep after it and get these other two bushings done, because yeah, I don't know, I might come in tomorrow, finish my brake lines. Mr. Compressor pops on right on cue. Let me keep going. I'm making headway. Don't want to pause, because when I pause I will go do other things and then I'll not get back to this. So, got our control arm out. Got to knock this one out with the air hammer. And then the other one I will use the press. Press the bushing out, press the bushing back in. And that's pretty much it. Need this guy. My shock won't come out. Come on, gravity, be my friend. Really? That'll work. Broken J-clip. Let's replace all of them. J-clips are out, shocks are out. Take the ball joints loose. And release our tapered joints. Tight. That scared me. That's not what I thought was going to fight me today. Oh, there it went. Aggressive. Oh my lord. Torque specs, they are a thing. Hit it with your purse. Not necessary. God. Unbelievable. Well, I've really made a mess out of that stud. Good thing I'm not reusing it. Now it's going to be dangerous. Because it wasn't hard enough to begin with. I usually like to keep my castle nuts on to protect myself from the spring, but I'm kind of up the creek on this one. This is about to go twang. I win. Sometimes it hurts more than others, but I always win. Alright, well, I won. I always win, but sometimes it hurts more than others. Front suspension, front control arms are ready to drop out of the car. My bushings aren't here yet. They were supposed to show up tomorrow, but nobody's going to be here tomorrow, so I don't know when I'm going to get them. So, with that, my shoulders hurt after swinging a hammer for the last 45 minutes. And I'm going to go home. You guys have a Merry Christmas. Travel safe. Enjoy some time with your families. Have a great day, and we will see you next week. Stay safe out there. We want to see you on the next time around. Have a great day.